What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. On UFC 317, Topuria versus Oliveira just took place about an hour ago by the time you're watching this video, if you're first to it. Obviously, I'm sure we're going to get like about 77 different fucking first comments. We'll see who can win the race for that. But yeah, Oliveira got fucking slumped out cold. That's sad, but the thing is, why was I not upset? Like, it's almost like it was just that expected. Like, I kind of just knew that it was going to happen. Also, I went fucking 10-1 on picks. I cooked this card on picks. Don't, what's it called? Make sure to go check out the UFC Predictions Tracker channel. Guarantee you I'm first, or top 3. Because I don't think anyone would have swept this card, because fuck all people picked Talbert. And I don't think anyone got the combination of picking Dariush and Delgado. So, I think I'm genuinely might be top of the leaderboard for picks this week. But anyway, yeah, Ilia got slumped out cold. The card was sick. This was the best card of the year. In execution, this card so far has been the most fun a UFC card has been all year. We've got the fight of the year and probably 2 knockout of the year contenders. Like 2 top 5 KOs of the year so far. So main event time. Let's talk about that to start off with. Yeah, I picked Ilia by like rounds 2 or 3 KO. I thought Oliveira might have a bit of grappling success early. I thought maybe it'd be a little bit more patient, but I really didn't anticipate just the first fucking punch that he landed, slumping Oliveira unconscious. And another thing was, my prediction for this fight was slightly off. I picked Ilia by a TKO, obviously. I thought it was going to be a TKO. I thought he was going to kind of get a standing finish or a mercy stoppage type setup. I did not think he was going to slump Oliveira. I did not envision Oliveira being out cold when I thought about this fight, and that's what happened. It was quite sad, but fair fucking play. Ilia is just speed running GOAT status. That's double champ. That's 3 champions in a row. That's 3 KO, highlight reel KO wins in a row. This dude's highlight reel is insane. He's the pound for pound #1 fighter in the world right now. He moves above Islam Makhachev pretty clearly. In my opinion, Islam will move back above him if he wins that welterweight belt, but for now, we got 1 double champion in the sport, and it's Ilia Topuria. Oliveira, I mean, to discuss the fight, there's not a lot to go through. Like, I can't really talk about this fight for 10 minutes, because there was a bit, like, Oliveira tried to sort of throw him down with, like, a bit of a takedown attempt, kind of a lat droppy sort of throw, I guess, and ended up on bottom. Ilia actually cut him open. Now, I missed the first minute of this fight, almost, the first 45 seconds, because, my fucking stream kept cutting out. So my stream was cutting out earlier. So then I decided to make the painful decision of buying the pay-per-view, which is disgraceful, I know. But I bought the pay-per-view, and still it was slow as fuck and cutting out and laggy as shit. So I skipped forward like 10 seconds, and then randomly they're halfway through the first round. So I did miss a little bit. I missed about the first minute. Ilia cut Oliveira open. He passed to like almost side control. Was looking good in the grappling. They get back up. Oliveira, I can't even really think of him landing a notable shot on Ilia, to be honest. I guess he might have landed a knee or 2 in the clinch, but yeah, Ilia just lands a massive right hook, and then the follow-up left didn't actually land. It would have been even sicker if it was just a 1-punch flatline, which is what it would have been, because he didn't need a follow-up. Oliveira was out cold from the first punch. So we saw that again. We saw 2 of those tonight, where you kind of walked off and then ruined the not ruined, but like killed the potential of a highlight reel flatline KO. But yeah, nasty stuff for Ilia Topuria. He's the double champion. They faced off with Paddy as well. That's definitely what's going to happen next. I just listened to Dana's press conference while I was getting all the photos and shit for the templates for this video. Dana said, Gaethje, if you're thinking about retiring because you're not getting a title shot, you should just retire. That's literally what he said. He said word for word, I don't fuck Gaethje. Kid wants a title shot or else he's retiring. Yeah, you know what I say about kids that think they're thinking about retirement. You should just fucking retire. So Gaethje, you're not getting a title shot. Arman, you ain't getting a title shot. They're gonna go with Paddy. They're definitely gonna fucking do that. Arman, you can wait. Gaethje, you can fuck off. You've won 1 fight, bitch. Like you'd get slumped out cold. So yeah, crazy stuff. They're definitely gonna run the Paddy. The post-fight interaction was very funny. Ilia was just not caring that he's on live television and that they're not supposed to swear, and he was just going off. Called Paddy like a blown bitch. I assume he means like blown up. He's calling him fat. He was saying a bunch of shit. It's just funny because he can't actually The trash talk would be so much like better and clearer if he was actually speaking English, speaking Spanish in his actual language. But because he's speaking in like broken English, it doesn't sound quite as good. But still, crazy main event, crazy highlight way to cap off the card as well. Anyway, let's move on to the co-main event. Next up, Alejandro Pantoja subbed Kai fucking goofball Carafans, James Kai Ware Carafans. You know, this dude's been complaining about the fact that he's supposedly a victim because he was embarrassed about his Maori name, where his first name is actually just James. This little goofball was doing his dumb little fucking autistic retard face every fucking chance he got. Pantoja domination. Won the first two comfortably. First round was arguably 10-8 if he did a bit more. Third round comes out, subs him. Pantoja always kind of has moments in his fight where you're like, ugh, fucking chill out on the feet, you're going to get KO'd. Because he always kind of just runs forward like a spastic. But his striking actually looked good for the most part, and he was actually, I actually think he outlanded Kai on the feet. He was landing good right hands, he was landing good low kicks, so shout out Pantoja for the performance. I'm trying to skim through this card because I want to just get this video out quickly. I'll do next fights to make as well. But yeah, first round, took him down immediately. Just kind of bum rushed forward and took it. That's what he does. That's like the signature Pantoja move. It's just like sort of bum rush forward with strikes and then end up in the takedown and then he just takes you down. Kai's fucking so-called like 90% takedown defense, yeah, you got bitched. Like, he got tossed around. Pantoja holding the four fingers up, just so much aura. That's 4 title defenses. I'm telling you, if he beats Van, I put him as the flyweight GOAT. I don't give a fuck. I don't care if DJ got 11 defenses. He fought a bunch of plumbers and he rematched a bunch of plumbers. And he also literally fought for the flyweight belt straight away. He didn't have to have a pre-fight, a pre-title run at flyweight. With his Pantoja has already beat half the top guys in the division before he even got to the belt. Like Manel Cap, Brandon Moreno, Brandon Royval, and Alex Perez, and Matt Schnell. I know that's not that great, but still was a ranked guy. Wilson Hayes, like this is his pre-title wins. Moreno, I don't know the order, but like Moreno, Wilson Hayes, Perez, Cap, Royval, like this dude just beat everyone before he got the belt, and then the post-title run is Moreno, or the post like getting the belt one was Moreno, Royval, Urseg, Asakura, Carafans. He's just beating everyone. If he beats Van, the number one guy, he will, no joke, let me pull up the UFC rankings. If he beats Joshua Van, he will legitimately have wins over, if he beats Van, he'll have wins over the number 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9 guy. That's insane. No one's doing that. He hasn't beat Albazi. Albazi's 3, Tyra's 5. He'll beat one of them as well if he beats Van. Like, I'm telling you, if he beats Van, he will become the flyweight GOAT. Because if he beats Van, he's arguably there. And then that would, again, as I said, be he'd have wins over the 1, 2, 3, 5, because Kai's about to move down 1. So 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9 guys in the world who are probably all going to drop down 1 because Van's going to move up. But, like, that will be, again, Royval, Moreno, Kai, Cap, Perez, Urseg. Wait. Sorry, look out. Royval, Moreno, Kai, Cap, Perez, Urseg. He already has 6 wins out of the top 10. And if he beats Van, it's 7 out of the top 10. This dude's the flyweight GOAT. I don't care. I do not care. He's literally the flyweight GOAT if he beats... Not right now, but if he beats Joshua Van, he just is. Van is... I made this take on stream. Van is a top 3 UFC striker at 145 or below. In my opinion, it's Volkanovski, it's Peter Yan, and it is Joshua Van. Because I'm not... Ilia's 55. So 45 and below, Joshua Van is the 3rd best striker in the sport right now in those 3 weight classes combined. He's a better striker than Yair. He's a better striker than O'Malley. I don't give a fuck. He's better. Joshua Van, I'm just making this take now. Joshua Van is a better fighter than anyone. Joshua Van right now is a more impressive win than anyone DJ has beat, including the first Cejudo win, because that wasn't the best version of Cejudo. If Pantoja submits Joshua Van, that would be a more impressive win than anything on DJ's resume. I don't care. Pantoja's goated. I love this man. And also, thanks for fucking whooping Kai Carr Francis' bitch ass, and he can stop doing his dumb little autistic face. Anyway, let's move on. This card went just about as well as it could have for me. Like, I got my Van win, I got my Pantoja win. I expected Oliveira to lose. If he'd won, that would have been cool as well. But Kai Carr fans just beat Brandon Royval in, no joke, the fight of the year. No doubt about it, the fight of the year so far. Sadikov Mota was the fight of the year up until today. Like, that was, to me, the fight of the... Because we haven't had that many crazy scraps this year. This was unbelievable. This is... And I think these two have been done dirty with the, like, numbers that they actually credited them with. Because I believe that, I believe they landed 150 plus strikes each. And at one point they showed that on the broadcast, but then they take away a bunch. I guess they review it and say it wasn't a strike. But the output from these two was crazy. Joshua Van continues to increase his fucking significant strikes landed. His strikes landed per minute record, I want to say. Let me double check how many did they actually credit them with. Because it might go down, which is bullshit if it does. But across 15 minutes, he landed... How many strikes? Let's check. Let's take a look. He landed... Oh my god. Okay, no, they updated it. Good. He landed 204 significant strikes in 15 minutes. This dude is insane. Now, credit to Royval. Royval landed 215. Royval was low-key stat padding. I was going to say, they updated the stats because I checked immediately after the fight. And it had them at like 120. And it didn't count the knockdown for Van. And I was like, what the fuck is this? But no. Joshua Van... Between them, they threw, let me double check, count this real quick, 779 strikes between them across 15 minutes. 779 divided by 15. They threw an average of 52 strikes per minute. They were literally throwing a strike a second for the entire fight. Van landed 204 strikes, 204 divided by... 204 divided by 15. Van was landing 13.6 strikes a minute. So he's going to increase his record that he already has. This dude is insane. Joshua Van is a top 5 most entertaining fighter in the sport right now. Top 3 in my books. Best striker in flyweight right now. Top 3 strikers below 145. Insane. I'm going to do a top 30 under 30 video as well. I've got a few video ideas planned as well now. Joshua Van is so good. It's crazy. Since losing to Charles John... Also, just saying. I think that his 10th or his 9th UFC fight. Let me double check. Joshua Van. Oh, I need to check his record. Because I know that's his 5th fight since losing to Edgar Shire... since losing to Charles Johnson last July. And how many UFC fights total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 9 total UFC fights since June 2024. So since June 2023. June 24th, 2023. How many days between June 24th, 2023 and today? Let's check. We have to check this. 736 days, so 736 divided by 9. He's averaging a fight every 81 days, meaning he's fighting more frequently than once every 3 months. And if you narrow that down to the last 5 fights that he's had, or the last 6 fights if you include the Johnson fight, July 13th. How many days between July 13th, 2024 and today? 351. He's had 6 fights. 351 divided by... It'll be like 60 odd. He's averaging a fight every 58.5 days in his last 6 fights. This dude is insane. Joshua Van is the best thing going in the sport right now. He's the most exciting fighter in the sport right now. To me, honestly, I don't care. Yuri, hey Yuri, we're all good. Like, Ilia is obviously up there as well, but in terms of just scraps, high output, fun guy, bro, Pantoja Van's gonna be so good. I don't even care. They could main event this shit and I wouldn't complain. They won't, because they'll put it as a co-main, because they hate flyweights. But I wouldn't mind this shit as a main event. Like, genuinely, I wouldn't complain about this as a main event. This is the most hyped I've been for a title fight since Volk Islam won. Since Volk Islam won, this is the most excited I've been in terms of deserving challenger fighting a long reigning champion. This is incredible. I love this. Anyway, let's move on. Next up, I'm skimming through the rest of the card. The top three were the main things. Benny Dariush got that crafty Unk performance. He was low-key tuning up Moicano in the first, and he got dropped, and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, he's got no chin. But he rallied back and out-grappled Moicano, which is what I thought he would do. I thought he would have a slight striking advantage and also be able to mix. I thought this would look similar to the RDA fight. He didn't look quite as good on the feet, obviously, as RDA. But Moicano cracked him and dropped him in the first, but just was unable to defend takedowns and grappling exchanges. And Benny was the better striker. Benny looked better on the feet for the most part, but he just got dropped. But still, happy to see Benny back in the win column. Unk still got it. Anyway, let's move on to the next fight. We don't talk about this one. This was the one low light of the card. I picked Felipe Lema. This was my one incorrect pick. Talbert looked good, bro. I can't lie. I'll give him credit. Like, Talbert... Grappling defense was crazily improved. He was actually stuffing takedowns, reversing Lema, ending up on top. And honestly won this fight through the grappling for the most part, because Lema was cracking him on the feet. Lema won the first. I thought the first was a toss-up. I was like, come on, Lema, lock in. And then Talbot won the second comfortably, and he won the third pretty comfortably as well. It was not a robbery. It was 2-1. But yeah, Lema just fought dumb decision-making. He just pissed me off with what he was doing. But no, fair play, I guess. Like, Talbot looked good. Talbot in Pride Month, let me tell you, kid's undefeated. Anyway, let's move on. Next up, Jesus Christ, Gregory Rodriguez actually murdered Jack Hermansson. This was like a more nasty, I mean, not more nasty, like, Ilia's KO was obviously better, but like, if he had walked off, this shit would have been actual, like, all-time highlight reel stuff. Like, this was insane, and then he just followed up and just drilled Hermansson's head into the fucking ground. He was low-key getting pieced up. Like, not pieced up, like, he was winning, but, like, he was getting landed on as well. Like, he actually was, like, cut open a fair bit. I think he cuts open very easily, Gregory Rodriguez. But, because you saw him in the post-fight interview, and this was after, like, 4 minutes of fighting. And he's got, like, cuts under the eyes, got, like, a cut on the forehead. Like, he was getting dagged up a little bit by Jack Hermansson. Jack the Joker, looking a bit crafty out there. But... still, amazing fucking left hook, brutal KO. The firepower was just too much. The Hermansson pick was just never there. Like, it's like, you just can't trust this dude to not just get bombed on early. Obama, you know, he's known for his bombs, you know. Just ask Iran, you know. But, yeah, nasty stuff for RoboCop. Anyway, let's move on. Hey, let me tell about this kid, Jose Delgado. Kid's a fucking savage. I've been on the Delgado train since his debut. I picked him obviously in his debut, and I picked him here. Even though he was a favourite on the odds-wise, more of the MMA YouTube community was picking Emil. So that's why I'm expecting myself to be top of the leaderboard for picks this week. Because, yeah, a lot of people were picking Emil. Guru picked Emil. Rigo picked Emil. You know, I know that's not a great sample size. You know, that's not indicating that, like, the intelligence pick was on Emil. But, no, Delgado was always the pick here for me. He's just too sharp. He's too nice on the feet with it. He's too quick. He's too powerful. Too explosive. Too dynamic. Caught Emil with a nasty knee. Put him down. Stoppage was not early. Emil was rocked as fuck when he got back up. Emil's very Dober-esque in terms of, like, he gets back up quick from the KO and then starts complaining meanwhile he's doing the fucking Irish jig. But no, hardcore pick here with Delgado. I'll talk about him more in another video or whatever, like in my next fights to make and shit. But right now, I'm just trying to get through this. But nasty KO. And got robbed of a bonus. They only gave out, stingy-ass fucking billion-dollar company, Jewish-ass company, only gave out 2 performance bonuses, plus fight of the night, obviously. Absolute fucking robbery. No idea how. Robocop and Topuria got a bonus. No Pantoja bonus. No Delgado bonus. No McKinney bonus. You know, Jacobe Smith didn't deserve one. He's the one finish that I'm not complaining that didn't get a bonus. But anyway, let's move on. Next up, there was just cake on display. It was a quite enjoyable fight to watch. You know, aesthetically pleasing to look at. You know, Tracy Cortez. The cameraman did an incredible job. You know, another bonus of the night, which was robbed, was from the cameraman because he was doing tremendous stuff. What's the question? Camera work? Production? Yeah, the cameraman, we're giving him 50 grand, kid. He was edging the entire fucking crowd all night long. No, but Cortez won. She grappled. I picked her. That was always going to happen. Anyway, let's move on. Next up, Terrence McKinney smoked Borshev in a round. I thought in a minute. It was less than a minute. Second, and not even the fastest finish on the card. But I picked him to win by round 1 KO/TKO. The submission was there as well. I didn't think that was out of the question. Just because Borshev obviously does have that grappling weakness. just how good is McKinney, you know? But no, this is just McKinney. He's going to smoke you in 2 minutes or he's going to lose. Like, he doesn't win fights that go past the first, and he doesn't lose fights in the first. Pretty much, that's the way that you go with Terrence McKinney. Just not good submission sequence. It was actually a nasty. He went Das or Anaconda, whatever, and then transitions to a mounted guillotine. Borshev taps in the first round. He's gonna get cut from the sport. He's 8-6. Anyway, let's move on. Jacobe Smith is mid as fuck. This dude's been getting glazed by Bedtime, and I think Hopper MMA's been glazing this dude. This guy's mid. He's literally just the black welterweight Bo Nickel. Like, you got wrestling credentials, bro, and you get a knockout against fucking Preston Parsons, like aka Val Woodburn for Bo Nickel, so people think you're top shit. This dude's mid. He will be losing to anyone unranked. Anyone ranked that's decent, and even half the unranked guys that are good would beat him. Leal beats this dude. Fucking Santiago Ponzinibbio probably gives this kid a tough fight. You know, this dude's mid. He's actually Bo Nickel. Like, he's just black Bo Nickel. All these American wrestling credentials, you know, get a good dominant grappling fight on Contender Series. Then you make your debut, you get a nasty KO, you know, good job, you KO'd Val Woodburn, like, good job, you KO'd fucking Preston Parsons. And then you have your next fight and look mid as shit. Like, this is, to me, the Cody Brundage fight of Jacobe Smith's career. Of, like, you got taken to the second round, you looked mid, you get a submission. Cool, good job. I am salty because he sold the fuck out of my bet, because I need him one by KO, and then also in round 1. That would have made my gambling week a lot better. I still did profit about $60 on the card. But, would have made a lot better if he got that round 1 finish. That would have been incredible for me. But anyway, it is what it is. You know, couldn't finish Nico Price in the first round. Just how good is Robbie Lawler? Anyway, let's move on to the last fight of the card. Last up, it was Jonathan Diniz versus Alvin Hines. Yeah, Goozy Hines has a chin, but man got pissed up the whole time, I guess. This is another thing I'm pissed off about. I had a 9-leg parlay that had it was just either fights to go or not go decision. Every single other leg hit after the one that came after this, except for this fucking bum who just decides to put all of his stat points into durability. And so I lost a 9-leg multi that would have paid like 20x. Like, it actually pissed me off. And I had like Dariush to go decision, Van to go decision, Pantoja to not go decision. Like, all these ones. Like, Dariush to go decision was plus 120. So that was plus money for it to go decision. So it was considered unlikely, or less likely than it. And I still got that right. But no, this shit, which was paying $1.25, aka like minus 450. This bum can't get a finish. Pissed me off. Anyway, card was sick. Best card of the year so far. Fights delivered in execution. 318's abysmal. That's going to be another video, because they've just announced fucking Danny gave us Patricio Pitbullo as the fucking co-main event of that card. So don't you worry, I got a rant video for that coming separately. Next fights to make. Once I finish my 317 coverage, I promise I will post the Prison Hierarchy tier list. I just have to get all these videos out the way first, because it doesn't really make sense to do the Prison Hierarchy tier list like tomorrow and then post the next fights to make after that. So yeah, that'll do it, guys. See you in the next one, and goodbye. 10-1 on picks, by the way. On the go.